I understand that there's tremendous economic value for any beachfront in Whole Town, but can we save some of it for us? Even if we don't keep the police station there, my personal view is that this should always be publicly accessible land, wall to wall to wall.
Gentlemen, good evening, boys and girls. You are watching the Marcia Week Show, and we are coming to you live from Barbados. This is the national flag of Barbados, and you just heard the national anthem of Barbados. How is everybody doing? Oh my goodness, we are so excited. We want to welcome those who are watching from the other parts of the Caribbean, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. How are you doing? I know some of you are hoping that there is change. There are others of you who don't want any change. Well, whatever it is, we just want to welcome everybody. Those from Trinidad and Tobago, welcome, 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 welcome. We are excited to have you on here with us tonight. We are looking forward to an amazing night tonight. And tonight, we are talking about exposing power, fear, and the fight for Barbados. And it's always a fight, guys. Always a fight, always a fight. Now, tonight we have loyal opposition. I know. Listen, I got to get my pot cover for this one. I have to get my pot cover for this one, folks. Somebody special is coming on tonight, and that's Mr. Glenn Murray. He will be back in the house, and we are excited. He had, eye surgery, and we are so grateful that he is, he's feeling much better. And yes, whoop, 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 says I'm a big girl. Whoop, 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 whoop. So, you know, he's got a whole lot to say. He has his own segment. And then afterwards, Mr. Victor Lewis is going to be here as well. I have to give him a drum roll as well because, you know, he's a man who he held that Joe's River. He held it. Victor, I can't leave. I won't put this too far, you know. Let me put my spoon and my pot over there. Pot cover. Closer. You know, as Caribbean people, they say drum roll and we say pot cover roll. No, we say pot cover roll. Are you excited? I am so happy to be alive. I am happy to be in the land of the living. Yes, don't mind it. Don't mind. You hear all the discussion on social media. I heard that I was famous today. That they spoke about me on CBC. Oh my goodness. Isn't that amazing? It's amazing. I was spoken about on CBC today. Oh my Lord. I guess I'm famous. Yeah. Oh, wow. Oh my Lord. They had a good discussion about me on CBC. Oh Lordy, I have to laugh. Isn't that wonderful? And listen, Dave, I am going to send you something. I just to cause them a little laugh. Can we have a little laugh tonight before we start? Dave, I just going to send you something. Let me see. Wait, this is coming up. Okay. Oh my goodness, it's so good to have you all joining us. And you know, here on the Marcia Week Show, we educate, huh? We motivate, we mobilize, and we agitate. We agitate. And I think what is going on, it seems like we're going to have to, in order to please you know, the host of that program, our Reverend Morris, I think we're going to have to host a whole protest so to accomplish what he wants, because our protests, that they have been so effective. Look at what has happened. We joined up with the people at Joe's River, brought education to the matter, mobilization, motivation, and agitation in our marches. And I mean, we are celebrating the victory right now. Dave, can you put up this that we're going to have to use? Put this up for me on the screen, Dave. Check your WhatsApp and put up that placard. CG, I see you in the audience, CG. Where is CG? CG, you're going to have to make this placard. And I think when you make this placard, those moderators on that CBC program, they're going to be very, very excited when they put that up. Dave, you can get that up. In the meantime, let me just welcome Don and Monica and Teroni. Hey, Teroni. Hello, Vernon Garnes, Judy Jills, Flojo, Mavis Lashley, Marvel Hunt, Marva M. Hunt, Mildred Ben, hello, Lori Bob, Michael Jills, Mavis Lashley, Diana Husbands, Andrea Critchlow, Matthew Brown. Yes. So Matthew Brown, CG, where are you? Deport. The people said deport her. Deport. Listen, we gonna make noise, man. The people said deport her. She is causing too many problems. He said, why don't you deport her? CG, I think we need to have a march with just this. Just this. What do you all think? I think they would be quite happy. Listen, Dalton. But listen, let's make a big joke of it. Let's make a big joke of it. I heard he says, get her out, deport her. I went on Facebook today and the people telling me that deport. Yes. CG to the world. CG to the world. Oh my God. That is so funny. That is so funny. And they think I'm going to go in a hole and whatever. It's hilarious to me. Seriously hilarious, you know. Oh my goodness. Oh, my loyal opposition. Oh goodness, Tanisha, Patricia Green. Listen, it's good to just laugh. It is good to have a good laugh, you know. It is good to have a good laugh. You're right. Listen, it is a joke. Oh my gosh. You're right. This ain't no Clementine. You tell that man. You tell that reverend, a reverend that was trying to tell the young people. Who remember that? He's a reverend and he's telling the young people that they could go and fornicate. He telling young people, there's no such thing. There's nothing wrong with fornication in the Bible. Oh God, yes, Lord, yes, Lord. Yes. Sometimes we just have to make a big joke out of things. You know, you just have to laugh. You just have to laugh. But talking about laughing and having fun, this Sunday, Belle Joyette has just joined. Bill Joyette has just joined us. Belle Joyette. Good night, Belle Joyette. Yeah. Listen, we are going on an excursion. A whole, country bunking excursion. We going on an excursion. And we're going on an excursion. Oh, he said that too, Cammy. I didn't know. He's a bit, trust me, he's a big reverend, you all. You better be careful. He's a big reverend. He's a reverend. Yeah. So we're on a big excursion on Sunday. Who remembers the first stop that we're making? What's the first stop we're making? Who remembers? Huh? They still talking about that corrupt preacher. Corrupt, you're right. Corrupting the atmosphere. They're there for election time. Right? So they must exist, but I must exist. They must deport me. I think he needs to tell you really why he had to leave the leave the UK. Remember, he was ambassador up there. You all remember? He was ambassador. They had to take a rope and draw him back home. High commissioner. Listen, they just put a rope on him, lasso him in the UK, and just brought him right back to Barbados. I think he needs to tell us why they brought him back to Barbados. So he want me out, and they brought him back in. Oh Lord. No, we're not going Tree Houses Park. Sam Lord's Castle. Very good, Mavis Lashley. Sam Lord's Castle is our first stop. So we are going to meet up at where? Where are we meeting up on Sunday? And at what time? Sunday, we're meeting up where? Yes, we're talking about this thing, and we're talking about that corrupt reverend at the same time. He was recalled. He was read. They just like, and just rope him in. You know, he don't want me to have another. You don't want me to have a talk with the staff up there, right? You want me to have a talk with the staff up there? That corrupt preacher. You want me to have a talk with the staff up there? Huh? Independence Square. Independence Square. Independence Square. Independence Square is where we are going to meet. We're meeting in Independence Square. Then we're off to, yes, 4-9. Oh, Teroni, that means you're going to be early. You're going to be early. And then we're heading to Sam Lord's Castle. And then from Sam Lord's Castle, where are we going? Where are we going from Sam Lord's Castle? Anybody remembers? Dave could put up the poster for me. If we could put up the poster. The lighthouse. Yes, John Clark. We're going to the lighthouse. We're going to the lighthouse. The Ragged Point Lighthouse is where we're going. Ragged Point. Yes, Ragged Point Lighthouse. Yes. Man, we're going to take some pictures and on and on. We're going to have fun. We have been working. You notice, guys, the CG and everybody, you notice we are not having the march on Saturday. No march on Saturday. We're just going to, I think we needed to pause and celebrate. We're fighting. So Independence Square, 9 a.m. The price is $30. Bring your lunch baskets. We start there. We go to Sam Lord's Castle. Then we go to Independence. Oh, sorry. We go to the lighthouse. We go to the lighthouse, Ragged Point Lighthouse. And then from Ragged Point Lighthouse, where do we go? Yes, Concept Bay. Concept Bay. Not, I think it's Concept, but I know what you mean. Hey, Houston. Good night, Houston. Concept Bay. And we are hoping, although Dave is saying we're going in there, passing Joe's River, but we want to go down to Harrison Point. And, you know, Dave is saying these are places that are very significant. These places are very significant to our, you know, our agitation. And in terms of, for example, Harrison Point, that's where they had the COVID hospital, right? Yes. So no march this Saturday. Who can help me spread the word? No march this Saturday. No march this Saturday. We're just going to focus on the Joe's River, but hold the placards. You didn't do them in vain. All right, hold on to them. What we thought, CG, is that let's see how the workers are responding. There are 800 workers in the transport board. We need to see and hear a little peep apart from the one or two in the newspaper. No march this Saturday. No march this Saturday. Help us to spread that word, and we are going to say we are watching to see what the workers are saying and doing concerning the transport board privatization. There are 800 workers there. What is it they're saying? They're part of a union. Okay. But CG, just keep doing, complete them so that when we are ready, they will be ready. So CG is doing the, as you know, the placards for us, and she's doing a special deport placard for Marcia Weeks. All right. Okay, good, good, good. Yes, yes, yes. We need to have a good laugh at times, don't we? Yes, it's good. Now, and from Harrison Point, St. Lucie, we go to Joe's River. All right. Judy said she'd coming to the picnic on Sunday. Let me see. I have your name, Judy. So I have 20 names. It hasn't changed. It's a 40-seater bus. And if you are wanting to come, you have family members who want to come. So it's a bit more than just going to Joe's River. We're going to do a little sightseeing, but half of the time will be at Joe's River. We want to take in the sights and sounds of Joe's River. $30. You need to give me a call, right? We want it's $30 because we have the bus for the entire day. And the $30 is the transportation. Yes, Keith Kinch. And you walk with a lunch basket. Right? You walk with a lunch basket. But it's $30 for the transportation. We're going to all of these different places. And then we end up at Joe's River. Yes? So everybody, I'm gonna ask you all to call the number, not the number, everybody knows the number, 236-7000. Okay, 236-7000 is the number that you would call if you need to book your space. All right, on the bus. It's the same People's Line number that it's there, 236-7000. Okay? Okay? You could email info@themarciaweekshow.com or WhatsApp 236-7000. Yes? To book your spot. It's Independence Day, 9 a.m. We're gonna have, those of you gonna miss church, listen, we're bringing tambourine and everything, and we're gonna sing our song, or we're gonna sing our songs, the old time church songs on the bus. we're gonna play that tambourine. We're gonna sing some old time church songs. We're gonna have a good old time. It's an excursion. Yeah. And we listen, we're gonna have our lunch with us, and oh Lord, it's gonna be fun. Yeah. No. Oh, I see what you're saying, Keith Kinch. Okay. Keith Kinch, give me a call, please. Keith, give me a call and let's discuss something, okay? I see what you're saying. Interesting question. Give us a call. We didn't think of it that way, you see? And we like to, yeah. Give us a call, Keith, okay? Sunshine, bringing a little sunshine in our lives. We're going to have lots of sunshine on November 30th. Oh, when we take that excursion, that scenic bus ride, and go to all of those places, from Independence Square to Sam Lord's Castle, to Ragged Point, to Concept Bay, Harrison Point, and Joe's River. It will be a sunny day, sunshine. But you're going to be in the cold in New York, Sunshine. Sunshine says, don't let me and our useful idiots make you all being fair. They are in fear of being exposed in their evildoings against the people. It's time for a grand rising and awakening to the facts. Yes. Oh, Lord, I am feeling a lot of joy, Listen, somebody just told me, just got in. E-bus broke down this evening. Can I give a shout out to the bus driver in the chat? Yes, please do. The e-bus broke down, the electric bus. Yes, that's granddaddy, man. Sunshine is our granddaddy, Sunshine, you are the granddaddy. And you know, he says, get out and speak up for your rights to freedom of speech and expression. And I promise when I get to New York, I'm going to come and see Sunshine. I'm going to go and visit Sunshine. Yeah, I'm going to go and visit Sunshine, most definitely. Dave, do you have that song you want to play for us? Michelle's song? Yeah. How many, anybody else? Yeah, I know you could wish you could be there. You're in the cold too, V-Hoy. 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 You're in the cold, V-Hoy. You can't be here. We're gonna enjoy it for all us. I know you would have a ball. You know, Michelle is gonna be here though. Yeah. All right. Let's hear that song. Oh, before we hear the song, Dave, is this a song? I think you just really want to play this. I was looking for the Joe's River song. I was looking for the Joe's River song. That's what I was looking for. Oh boy. All right. Anybody else will be at the excursion? Yes, we need a song about freedom of speech. It's true. Oh no, don't even say that. I tell you, go before they sell the places out. Oh boy. Folks, if you're interested in coming to the excursion, being part of that, that's the email address and the WhatsApp number for you to reach out to us at, and let me add your name to the list. We have 20 more seats available. Okay, we have 20 seats available.
Ay, yo, 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 yo. Ay, yo, 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 yo. Oh, yo, 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 yo. Ay, yo, 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 yo. God above, guide we all. Ancestors, here we call. St. Joseph, standing tall. Joe's River sacred, pull down the wall. River flow, belong to we. Spirit glow, belong to we. Blocking road, can't stop we. God and the elders fight for we. God done rule, victory. Wall come down, finally. Rise up strong, community. Joe's River, St. Joseph legacy. Bathsheba breeze tell tale from before. Railway rumble along the old time shore. Chimbalazo spirits knocking on door. Ancestors watching old firm indoor. Roots in the clay, deep like prayer. Try block path, we still get there. Gotta walk with we. River declare this land is yours. Stand up, prepare. River flow, belong to we. Spirit glow, belong to we. Black in road, can't stop we. God and the elders fight for we. Court done rule, victory. Wall come down, finally. Rise up strong, community. Joe's River, St. Joseph legacy. Private sign up, try claim the space. Locals vex, hurt, show up on face. Foreign hand, try step out of place. But God and we ancestors lock the base. Villagers gather one heartbeat. Barefoot prayers rise in the heat. Courtroom shake when the truth repeat. Pull down that wall, river is we. River flow, belong to we. Spirit glow, belong to we. Black in road, can't stop we. God and the elders fight for we. Court done rule, victory. Wall come down, finally. Rise up strong, community. Joe's River, St. Joseph legacy. Victory land sweet like morning rain. Judge say clear, remove the chain. Fix back the banks, heal up the plain. Let children laugh on the spot again. Honor the elders, the ones who fight. God light show with the righteous right. Raise the flag, hold it upright. Joe's River free, St. Joseph unite. River flow, belong to we. Spirit glow, belong belong to we. Praise be God, community. Jos River, St. Joseph Legacy. River flow belong to we. Spirit glow belong to we. Praise be God, community. Jos River, St. Joseph Legacy. Oh yo 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 yo. 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 Oh yo 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 yo.
Michelle, can we just recognize Michelle? Do you see how everybody is just, I mean, each person is so important, you know, to what we are all doing here. All of us. Michelle writes these songs that just lifts our spirit, doesn't she? Michelle, you have done and are doing an amazing job on behalf of your country. And I say, when the history is written, they must remember Michelle. Michelle. I don't even know if she's listening. I am amazed by you. And you are doing an amazing job. Look at this. That Michelle has blessed these young Dems, and it's her work. And I just want to show her work on here. Play this for me, Dave. Thank you. Go ahead, Dave. No, it's not added. So you can start it over and add it. It's not added. No. Yes, it's not playing.
What time is this bus supposed to come?
I don't know, man. It's always late. Wait!
Sits and moving, one day I'll pay. Sits and moving, sits and moving, good sits and moving. With the code, determination in mode. Young Dems rise up, we carry and below. Future in we hands, Barbados we see. Sits and moving, jump on the DLP. Sits and moving, now we push the bus. One DLP, moving on with us.
We've got to see this one more time, y'all. We got to see this one more time. Oh my goodness. This is a good one. I love it. It's just very creative.
What time is this bus supposed to come?
I don't know, man. It's always late. Wait!
Sits and moving, one day I'll pay. Sits and moving, sits and moving, good sits and moving. With the code, determination in mode. Young Dems rise up, we carry and below. Future in we hands, Barbados we see. Sits and moving, jump on the DLP. Sits and moving, now we push the bus. One DLP, moving on with us.
Now, listen. That is a class act right there, Michelle. Michelle, oh my goodness. And I'm just, I am, all into young people, and I'm glad that they are doing their thing. And, anybody figure out who the character is in red with the afro? The conductor of the red bus, you realize, came onto the yellow bus. Mavis, who is the character in the red? While Dave put up the PowerPoint, please. Yes. And who was the bus driver in the other one? Who was the bus driver in the yellow bus? Who was the bus driver? Michelle is, oh my gosh. That is awesome. Yes. You're right. I know, CG, you like that one? CG, you're creative. She's another creative too, you like that one, CG? I thought it was so creative. I told him, man, let's play it. Because I love those kinds of things. That's good. Because, she's trying to take the little kids, she's trying to take the little things from the children, from the kids. Take away their slogan. Huh? So you make sure you fight for the slogan for them on social media. Yeah. All right. Okay. All right, folks. Mr. Murray is going to be coming to us at 8 o'clock. And before he comes, I want to use this time. I know CG would have said it. I know you, CG. You're a creative. I know you're working in an admin job. A lot of you are like that, but you are gifted. You're gifted. I don't know. Oh my goodness, look at this. Somebody's saying here, anyone in the chat who has children and you want to go but can't afford, the first express an interest, tickets will be paid for. So you've got to help me look for that, Vihoy. All right, so Vihoy, I'm setting you on that between you and CG. You will help us to find those that have children and want to go, a family. You want to go as a family on the bus, the excursion. Yes. Now, I thought I wanted to do a little, just spend a couple minutes until we have our first panelist. And I want to talk to us about when leaders lose their way. And I am looking at it from a biblical standpoint, because on the show we educate. And there are, in Barbados, I think Barbados is about 80-something% Christian, isn't it? Barbados is about 80-something% Christian. And I find that a lot of Christians believe that they need to stay on the sidelines. And they mustn't get involved in anything, to do with leadership, governance. In fact, so for some Christians, the only thing that you hear them say, pray for our leaders. You are to pray and bless the leaders. Right? Pray and bless the leaders. That's the only thing. Right? That's the only thing. that they believe that the scripture, the only thing that they're required to do as Christians. Anybody ever heard that? Anybody ever heard that? The only thing that, so whenever you start to talk about the leaders and so we don't want to get involved in politics. You are to pray and bless the leader. No criticizing the leader. Right? Anybody ever heard and I've seen that in the comment section where they come and they say, Marcia, pray for the leaders, don't criticize. I'm not moving till somebody tell me that they've heard that before. If Dave could find out for me, Dave, what is the percentage of Christians in Barbados? Keep this on the screen, and if you could help me out, Dave. Yes, that is to the extent that they believe that people who go to church, if you do anything otherwise than that, it is not of God. They say you, first of all, you're not godly. There are people who tell me, why are you speaking out against the against leaders? You're not to do that. The only thing you are to do is to pray and bless the leaders. Well, let's see what Jesus said about that. I'm taking you back to Sunday school tonight. Right? Let's take you back to Sunday school tonight. Somebody said those Christians are mistaken. Approximately 76% of the population in Barbados identified as Christians in 2010 census. Well, that's what I thought. More recent estimate placed the percentage of Christians between 74% and 95%. Christianity is a predominant religion in Barbados, with numerous denominations present on the island. So if I come and I'm speaking to Christians, I'm speaking to a large percentage of the population. Monday school. This is Monday school. We're going to Monday school today. Okay, Monday school. So thank you, Dave. Well, let's go to the next slide. Thank you. As somebody said, we love to take things out of context. So we're going to go to the next slide. When leaders lose their way, people, nations rise or fall based on leadership. It's a fact. The state of Barbados today is a result of leadership or lack of leadership. The killings and the murders and the increase in crime that we saw since 2018 is as a result of the leadership that we have. Yes, that because what that percentage is telling us that the Christians, majority of the Christians voted in this present government. Take ownership of it. You voted in this government. The high cost of living, the increase in crime, violent murders, all that you see that is happening in society is as a result of leadership. It's a fact. Nations rise or fall based on leadership. Because James 3:1 says, I tell you, taking it to Monday school, God holds leaders to a higher standard. Jesus, he confronted corruption with truth. We're going to see this. We're going to see how Jesus confronted corruption. The high cost of owning a house. Thank you, Manasseh. All of these things, the rent. Dave, let's go to the next slide. Correct. We must pray, Marvel says, for everybody. But our leaders must show integrity, empathy, accountability, and empowered citizens. But there are many Christians that I know over 700 of you watching, right? So that means out of about 700 of you watching, but more than 80% of you would say you're Christian. Huh? Jesus called out political corruption. Yeah, he did. Jesus said, go tell that fox. That's the scripture. Go and look it up. Luke 13, 31 to 32. Go tell that fox. Okay? The scriptures, according to the scriptures, you know what? Herod, he was a leader of the land. He was the president or the prime minister, and he threatened Jesus. You think Jesus go in a corner and only pray? Did he go in a corner and just pray for the leader and say, "Oh, let us bless the leader"? Thank you, Dave. He said, "Go tell," in red. Jesus speaking in red. Go tell that fox, I will keep on driving out demons and healing people today and tomorrow and on the third day, and I will reach my goal. Jesus wasn't backing down. He was talking to the leader of the day. So when they come to tell you that all you are to do is to pray for the leader, it's a lie. That's religion. At that Herod, listen, thank you, Dave. You're the best. At that time, some Pharisees came to Jesus and said to him, leave this place, go somewhere else. Herod wants to kill you. Did he run in the corner as you all tell me? I come on here to talk to you about the investigation, people following me in cars, all of these in vans, and some of you, Marcia, go and pray about it. What do you think that? I'm sure Jesus prayed about it, but you think that's all he said? Look at 32. Jesus had mouth for them. He had mouth for them. He said, go tell that fox, I will keep on driving out demons and healing people today and tomorrow. And on the third day, I will reach my goal. He said, listen, after the third day, he was speaking proverbially because he knew under that he was gonna rise on the third day. Go tell that fox. To all of those that sending out their threats to us, we say tonight, go tell that fox. And you know, if I were to write that on social media, you know what they would tell me? That I'm a bad Christian. If I were to call the leader of the day a fox, you are the same Christians will tell me that I am out of order and disrespectful. Dave, thank you so much for this scripture, Dave. Herod wanted to kill Jesus. Jesus, the meaning of fox is sly, manipulative, deceptive. He called him what he saw. He said, you are sly. Is he calling him a literal fox? Huh? Is he calling him CG? Come on, we do it. Dave, no. Please put back the thing there. It's distracting. Please, I'm sorry. Jesus was a radical. Dave, can you put back the PowerPoint, please? Jesus was a radical. So those of you who are saying that all that Jesus would have done was to pray for the leaders and bless them, that is a lie. And I'm showing you. I'm using scripture to show you. Dave, can you put up the PowerPoint for me? Thank you. Dave? Thank you. Jesus was not afraid of political intimidation. They're trying to intimidate people. Jesus was not afraid of political intimidation. Man, they said the man going to kill you. And Jesus said, go tell that fox. I say, I am not stopping what I'm doing. They want Jesus to stop what he's doing. He was not afraid of political intimidation. Stop being religious and talk about all you're going to do is pray. Can I get the next slide, please, Dave? Thank you. Jesus, according to Matthew 23, he condemned the hypocrites. He listed out 7 woes to the leaders of the day. And what you must notice, is that Jesus never called, all of this was never pointed to the people. He never called those who were struggling with sin or living in sin or anything like that. It's not the people, all of these the names that he called here were directed at leaders. He called them hypocrites. He called them hypocrites. Thank you, Dave. Then Jesus said the crowds and to his disciples, yes, if you go up a bit more, see if you find it for me. But he called them hypocrites, right? So you must be careful to do everything they tell you, but do not do what they do, for they do not practice what they preach. They tie up heavy, cumbersome loads and put them on other people's shoulders, but they themselves are not willing to lift a finger to move them. Everything they do is done for people to see. They make their phylacteries, is that what it's called, Dave? Phylacteries wide and tassels on their garments long. They love the place of honor at banquets and the most important seats in the synagogue. They love to be greeted with respect in the marketplaces and to be called Rabbi. Yes? If we can go back to the slides, Dave, I think. Oh, okay. Hypocrites, because of time. Blind guides, meaning, you understand what that is? As a guide, when you're on the road, you see a blind person, and then the person might have a guide. Jesus said the leaders of those days, they were blind guides. That is some insult, He called them a hypocrite. You talk one thing and you do something else. He called them whitewashed tombs. You know what a tomb is? Whitewashed sepulcher. Whitewashed sepulchers. He says you are likened unto a grave that is filled with bones, dead bones, but paint over white. You understand? If you have dead bones in you, it stink. That's no compliment. And why was he telling them that? They oppressed people and misused authority. They abused power. They abused their authority. So don't you ever let anybody tell you you cannot criticize the leadership. It's a lie. And tell you must only pray for the leaders and only bless the leaders. You let them know it's a lie. You take the all of the slides from here and let them know. His philosophy is that corruption had no place in leadership. And I know that over 80% of you profess to be Christians, but you believe a lie. And that lie, what it does, it cripples you and cause you not to be able to be functional in society. You can't criticize the government. You can't criticize the leaders. You must only pray and bless them. It's a lie. I'm showing you tonight. Unless you want to hold on to that. The next one, Dave. One more slide before Mr. Murray. And I'm going to pick this up before the night is up. Right? Jesus exposed exploitation. You could take the scriptures and you look it up yourself. He called them, I know Mr. Murray listened to this. He's setting up, but Mr. Murray listened to this. He called the leaders a den of thieves. Lord Jesus. If I ever do that now, they're going to sue me for defamation. They will sue me for defamation. Jesus exposed the leadership of the day and called them what? A den of thieves. The temple became a place of economic exploitation. The poor were being robbed. What was he against? A leadership that turned into business. The leadership turned into business instead of, the business that creates corruption. Corruption. And you're going to look at me and anybody else on here and say you must not criticize leaders, and you can't call them any names either. You can't call them fucks. You can't call them den of thieves. You can't call them corrupt. You can't call them brood of vipers. You can't call them whitewashed tombs and graveyard. Mr. Murray, if you're ready, give me a thumbs up. Mr. Murray, wonder if he's hearing me. Mr. Murray, seems like he's having some challenges there. Good night, Mr. Murray. I see him there. 80% of us there are Christians. He's having trouble. Mr. Murray is having some challenges, so I'll keep going until he's able to come in. Dave, let's go to the next slide. Jesus called the leadership of the day hirelings. He tell them off. Who are hirelings? Hirelings are not real leaders. These are false leaders who abandon people in danger. These are false leaders who abandon people in danger. They protect positions and not their lives. That's a hireling. A hireling is different from a shepherd. A shepherd is a true leader. Dave is helping him again. The hired hand is not the shepherd and does not own the sheep. So when he sees a wolf coming, he abandons the sheep and runs away. Then the wolf attacks the flock and scatters it. The man runs away because he's a hired hand and cares nothing for the sheep. Huh? Sounds like a leader I know. Say, Mia cares. Mia cares. Mia is a hireling. And if I say that now, they say I'm not a Christian. Huh? Mia cares. But when the wolf comes to attack, she gone and she scatter. Every minute she's on a plane, she's gone. We put her there as a leader, and she refuses to lead. Hireling. They protect their positions and not lives. And we have to be able, you read the scripture and apply it. You apply it. Modern parallel leaders who disappear in crisis. Right? We are in crisis. People flooded out. And she went and did a photo op down in St. George where the man drowned. And the next day we saw her in another country. Disappear in crisis. Hireling. That's what Jesus would call her. So you want to curse Jesus now? Somebody put a scripture here. It says great windstorms will blow them away like straw. Evil actions will cause governments to fall. Sunshine says he went into the temple and chastised. Though some of you, the Christianity or whatever you're practicing, that's not it. You're too lukewarm. You're dead. You're dead inside. That's why Jesus himself said, you're whitewashed sepulcher. You're a grave. You're dead. Dead men bones in you. And all these names that he was calling people, it was never the people. It was all leadership. Right? Yeah, and Sandra, the big thing about this is that they want what they want to happen is that we are now to begin to lift up this leader as a God. We must lift up this leader as a God. Mr. Murray, give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Oh, wow. Mr. Murray? Mr. Murray? Huh? You can't say anything about the leader. No, that's not scripture. Scripture does not teach us that. That's a lie that man made to protect the leader that they want to keep in place. It's man-made. It's a man-made thing that is put in place to protect the leader. Yes, you are to pray. Yes, you are to bless, but that's not the only thing you are to do. That's where the lie comes in. You have to correct, you have to chastise, you have to criticize. And Jesus did that by calling them foxes. Fox, hirelings, dens of, he called them thieves, den of thieves. Right? So the next time that you hear them, you hear people trying to tell you that you can't criticize the government. You must stop the, oh, how dare you be a Christian and you're criticizing the government. Jesus called the leaders a fox. Huh? You can't call, you know what? He wasn't calling them a literal fox. It can't be a literal fox. Come on, guys. We do metaphors and similes and all of that in school. Huh? This is not so if I call him the Prime Minister Miss Piggy, I'm calling her pig. Come on, get with it. You went to school. You didn't go to Sunday school. Well, so when Jesus said that Herod was he said, you fox, go tell that fox. He was calling him a literal fox. going to write and tell me I'm calling the Prime Minister a pig? Come on. Come on. Use your brain, but you can't use your brain. You can't use your brain. It's because you're full of religion. You are full of nothing but religion. I think Mr. Murray's ready. Mr. Murray, give me a thumbs up. Okay, I'm going to try Mr. Murray's ready because, I will turn this into a preach. Oh, he just waved. He's gone, Dave. Go to the next slide quick for me, Dave, and then help him. Thank you. Just change the slide and then help him. Thank you. Jesus exposed the leaders. Jesus didn't try to cover them when they were doing wrongs. Jesus would have gotten on a podcast and exposed them. He says what? You impose burdens. They impose burdens on the people that they themselves won't carry. That's what Jesus said. And this was not. And you know what? These leaders, some of them, when they read these scriptures, they want to think it's the people Jesus talking to. That was the leadership of the day. He was talking to political leaders, and he spoke also to church leaders. And church leaders carried a great weight in that time. They were leaders in the society. He said what? You leaders, you impose burdens on people that you don't want to carry yourself. Jesus said, hold a minute. Wait. You are all living in privilege while people suffer. He said, hold a minute. When do you get your pension? Leaders in Barbados at 50? Your pension every year is 50 and the rest is 67? Oh my goodness, Jesus would get on in this country. He said, you live in privilege while the people suffer? He said, hold a minute. You are getting, how much is your pay? How much hundreds of thousands you're getting for your pay? And then you getting meal allowance and entertainment allowance while people are suffering in this country? You live in privilege and the people suffer? He said, hold a minute. You're using laws to control the people instead of uplift the people? Jesus would say, where you going with that cybercrime bill? Where you going with that tint bill? Where you going with these laws that oppress the people in this country? That's what, can you imagine? Some of you would run from him. You would run away from Jesus. Huh? You using laws? What? Laws to control the people of Barbados? Oh no, it would not be pretty. That is why a lot of what you see in here of people saying they're Christians, it ain't happening. We're not following. You see Christians like Victor Lewis that they will call contentious, that they put me in the paper and say I am the controversial person of the year. Think that I would be embarrassed? Somebody said, oh, as a Christian, you shouldn't be the most controversial person of the year. Well, what was Jesus? Look at what he's saying. Wouldn't he have been controversial in his time? Wouldn't Jesus have been controversial? They called me the most controversial, the Nation newspaper. And they thought, Christians thought it was a bad thing. I'm the most controversial person of the year. Some of them, it was bad for Christianity. And look at Jesus here. He was not politically correct at all. So go back with that foolish Christianity, that pure Christianity, that weak, milky Christianity that you are practicing. Christianity would go and stand up for the people at Joe's River. Christianity goes and stand up for the people in the whole town. That is what the Jesus Christianity is about, not the one that you are practicing in your church right now. I am talking to the 80% of you that the census say are Christians tonight. It's you I'm talking to. Let me try Mr. Murray quickly. Good night, Mr. Murray.
Good night.
We can hear you. Let's see.
We're having internet problems in my areas, so it's dropping in and out.
Wow.
So we'll have to wait and see.
We'll wait and see, and if we don't have it tonight, then we sure know we will see you another night. But before it drops out, we just want to say, I have my drum roll, so let me get my drum roll. Welcome, Mr. Murray.
You're dropping. I'm not really hearing you. Dropping in and out all the time.
Yes, and you're dropping in. Yeah, let me put you back.
It's an unstable. Oh, I hear your pot. I hear your pot and pan. Yeah, but it doesn't seem to be working tonight. So we probably have to do it Wednesday night. If that's good with you.
For Wednesday, Mr. Murray, that's okay. But we're happy to see you. Yeah. Come on, everybody say welcome back, Mr. Murray.
Bad internet link.
Yes. Okay.
Dropping in and out time. So.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So what we'll do, because what's happening after a time, he drops out completely. So like right now he's gone completely from the studio. So it's an internet. It's a bandwidth problem. So we just have to wait. Dave, if you can, I think we can probably tomorrow to see if he can plug in directly into the box. If Mr. Murray or anybody from Mr. Murray's son is listening, one of the things that we can do is to get him plugged in. I have to go plug in directly into the box to get a stable internet. We're gonna work. We're gonna fix it for Mr. Murray. Don't worry. That's right, Vihoy. The Bible was very, very radical. It was very radical. Yes, we're glad that Mr. Murray is well. Yes, most definitely. We're all praying for him. Folks, I want us to understand that there is no way Jesus would be in Barbados and not do something about what is happening. Do not believe the lies that they are telling you. It is not just about a prayer meeting. What a lot of these are practicing is not what it's all about. Do you hear me? Let me ask you something. What do you think Jesus would do to the Ministry of Education when they had that drill and the people they had all those men with cutlass running on the children and that kind of what they did there? What do you think Jesus would be saying about all of that? What do you think he would be saying about that? You think this is a joke? So Jesus called the people, called Herod. King Herod, who wanted to kill him. I thought that Jesus was supposed to go and pray. If he heard that Herod was going to kill him, he said, you fox, you go tell that fox. And none of you question that because he's Jesus, right? I said, why is he calling him a fox? But Herod is not a fox. Huh? He was calling him a fox based on his behavior, based on his characteristics. So they want to intimidate me, but they're investigating me. You fox. You fox. The next one, Dave. You're not intimidating me. You won't even use a church. Because I'm not listening to none of you all. I'm not listening. You could post all you want. I know you're full of religion. Leadership. Jesus versus the lying leadership. You hear that? You know what Jesus tell him? Your father is the devil. John 8:44. Jesus tell the leadership, your father is the devil. Last night I came and I told you that this leader is being controlled by demonic entity. You all tell me that I'm not saved enough. As a Christian, I should be praying. He said, your father, he tell the leadership. If he was in Barbados, he would tell them, your father is the devil. That's why you tell so much lies. He said, see it here. You think I'm making it up? You belong to your father, the devil. Mia and your cohorts. And you want to carry out your father's desire. Huh? He said he was a murderer from the beginning, the devil, not holding to the truth, for there is no truth in him. When he lies, he speaks his native language, for he is a liar and the father of lies. When the politicians are lying to you, they are lying to you because their father is the devil. Okay, so I said it. Go ahead now, write me and tell me, Marcia, as a Christian, you cannot say that the government, that their father is a devil. Jesus said the reason that those politicians are lying to us, he said that their father is a devil. There's no truth in him. When he lies, he speaks his native language. That is their language. For he's a liar and the father of lies. I am speaking to 80% Christians. So those of you who say, Marcia, you're talking about the Bible. 80% of this population is Christian. Thereabout. Dave, tell me about Mr. Murray. Is he good? Okay, just let me finish up this slide and then everything is pushed back. I'll bring Mr. Victor in here as well. Okay. I'm finishing this slide and then Mr. Murray is going to come and we're going to take this up. Your father is a devil. What are you doing? You're twisting the truth. You're deceitful. You're double speech. You're forked tongue. You came to us in 2018 and told us one thing, and you come back with another thing. You went ahead and you are I will wait for Mr. Lewis to talk about this forked tongue government with Joe's River. These are not your average. We are not your average Christians. You're dishonest leaders. Jesus said dishonest leaders are spiritually dangerous for us. You pass misinformation, your double speech, your morning words and your evening words don't line up, Jesus says. You tell lies because your father is a father of lies, the devil. Here ended the teaching for right now. And we are going to the next segment. We're going to take up the offering now. Mr. Murray is coming to take up the offering. Good night, Mr. Murray.
Good night. Good night. It's quite an eventful day. Even before we started, I've been having some internet problems in my neighborhood, so that's what delayed my thing. But it's good to see you. Good to see Victor. Good to see your battle has paid off. Congrats.
You're welcome, sir.
But I want to say happy Independence to everybody. That's why I'm wearing my Independence colors shirt. Even my Barbados flag paid. I am never ashamed to wear this flag. I'm not only wearing the colors in shirt, I'm wearing my flag.
Let the people see the pin. You see that pin on him, guys? He's got the pin on.
And if you notice carefully, the color of the trident is in black. The national colors are gold, aquamarine, and black. I've been seeing people in government wearing gold tridents. I think that you should never, so that is probably a question of taste, style, or what you can afford. But I will always wear the official symbols, and you shouldn't trifle with them. So maybe the well-off can get these things done for the elite, but that is not I will always wear this and that symbol. All right?
Yes.
So, good.
Well, you can jump right in. We are so happy. It feels I have to pinch myself.
No, sorry, I'm good. Let me warn you, I'm not only saying better, I'm hearing even better. Of course, see that one set seems to have accentuated the other, so be careful what you say to me. I'm not no, but my topic is tonight. The BLP has clearly lost its purpose. Part one, BLP has clearly lost its purpose. And I say that because you would recall that in 2014, when the late Prime Minister Arthur was leaving the BLP, when he's severing ties with them, he said the BLP has lost its way, it has lost its soul. I am taking that a step further, having observed it since 2018. I am coming to some recent events, which I will mention shortly. I think it has lost its purpose. And that purpose since 1980 was captured in the slogan, "A better life for all people." That is supposed to summarize the whole objective and goal and drive of the Barbados Labour. That's what is the business for, to make a better life for its people. And that has been so since the 1980s. Before that, the philosophy was based on democratic socialism, where the state accepts it has a responsibility to take care of the well-being of those who cannot afford it in certain key areas: housing, education, health, transportation. So, and I'd like to focus on that last one, transportation, because there have been some issues in recent times in transportation, which I will mention tonight, but I will come back to them in the second segment. But the two transportation issues I'm talking about, the stealth with which Uber seems to have come into Barbados. Stealth is by you're not in the open, not transferred, when there's something not quite right. It seems as though it came in the dead of night, like thieves in the dead of night. And the government seems to have reacted as though they were surprised that it was here. But when they deal with the next segment, I will tell you why they could not and should not have been surprised. So it's Uber, and then it's the proposed divestment of the transport board. Okay, now transportation is not just something that happens willy-nilly. Transportation, I'm sure you, Marcia, have heard about. There's the largest blood vessel is the aorta. The largest.
I think it's IOTA.
AORTA, aorta, right? That's a lid that pumps oxygenated, pure oxygen to all parts of the body. All the other parts depends on that large valve. Okay, that artery is the proper name for it.
Yes.
So I mentioned that because transportation to society's existence and function is like the aorta, your blood. Before the blood from the aorta from the blood, you cannot function, your body cannot function properly. You become ill, you die. Without transportation, no society can function properly without transportation. If it has inadequate transport, it impacts on the quality of life, the way of life, the standard of living, its economy, its society, because everybody, public transportation has an impact on everybody every day in one way or another. So, and this was recognized in the philosophy of democratic socialism, which interesting enough, had been inherited by both Grantley Adams and Errol Barrow. Grantley Adams had belonged to what they call the Lasky schools of Barrow was the Lasky school, the more aggressive form of democratic socialism, while Adams belonged to the more gradual thing, but all had the same philosophy that the government has a duty-bound role to provide for citizens when they cannot provide for themselves. And there are certain areas that they make sure that is available to them, that's available and affordable to them. And this goes back in translation in August 1955. Grantley Adams, when the private concessionaires that ran the bus routes in Barbados, you know, with Miss Rock and progressives and all, they were clamoring and putting pressure on the government for an increase in bus fares. And the government of the day, Grantley Adams government, says, no, it cannot be. We cannot afford the public. It's too big a burden on the public. You can't have it. And they insisted that they were planning to go on strike. And he defied them, and he nationalized the buses, and that is the origin of the Barbados of the Transport Board fulfilling a mission of protecting the interests of the working class and the general public, where social dynamics and operations and function are concerned. So that is in 1950, and this year, therefore, the 70th anniversary of that nationalization, out of which came the Transport Board. Now, I think it's ironic. I think it's a slap in the face of.
Hello, good night. Can you hear us? Can you hear me? Who is hearing?
I'm hearing you, Marcia, if you can hear me.
Yes, okay. So Mr. Maurice froze on. Oh. Mr. Maurice froze on there. Yeah. Well, that was a good little history lesson there, I thought. You know, Mr. Lewis, and he was saying how that main artery is transportation, and I just love the way how he presented it. And I think before he got frozen, he was saying it's a slap in the face that we're now celebrating 70 years of what the founding fathers would have put in place, right? Which goes before transportation. I mean, the whole system was set up even before we got independent, right? And now you're going to now dismantle it. In celebrating it, you're going to dismantle it. You know, I don't know if you have any thoughts there. You are being a Barbadian longer than I am. If there's he's back. Oh wow. We were being a good student and going over.
Yeah, you did it well. You caught it very well. No, but okay. So 70 years. I think it really is a shame that and a shame that this idea. Let me give a little more history. Under both governments, when we're dealing with the international lending agencies and funding agencies, IMF, the World Bank, they've all for years they pressured us. They thought that our rates the payment for all our services were too low in Barbados, right? I'm not on, okay. I dropped it on this.
No, we can hear you. We can hear you.
You can hear me? All right, good.
Yes, we're
Yeah,
here.
yeah. And for years, they used to complain that our rates, because we had the democratic socialism philosophy where we built houses to the public, provided education to the public, transportation, etc., health, they felt that what we were charged, what the IMF now calls the user fees, were too low. And we resisted them for years. They wanted to increase the rates of the NHC, the bus fares, those kind of things. And we said, no, it has to be affordable to the public. Don't forget, you're dealing with institutions, the World Bank, IMF, which belong to the rich club, what they call the Washington Consensus, neoliberal club, who feel that it is not government's responsibility to look after you. If you don't have transportation, if you don't have housing, if you don't have health, too bad for you. That's your responsibility. But it's because of the adherence to democratic socialism that Barbados and the rest of the Caribbean, we have been able to reach a standard of living which has defied the odds against us, our size, etc., because of government's role in ensuring that we had this basic thing. So, but now that once we put ourselves in the clutches of the IMF, we were so deeply embedded with them that they have been able to dictate, or even the taxes we pay, the rates we charge, which is really part of our independence, right? It threatens the legacy of our being able to call our own, be our own country, be our own in our own country. But now they have been insisting that what we call the statutory corporations, which they renamed the state-owned enterprises, many of it provide these services, and the subsidies that they give are not unique because all the other countries subsidize their farmers, subsidize some of their operations and their segments. The rich countries, the people in North America, Europe, will let some of Europe, Eastern Europe, they will call that welfare public, but then they are prepared to indulge in what is called corporate welfare by giving their own subsidies through tax write-off and tax concessions and grants to the private sector. So it's all right for them to do it for the private sector, but it's not the done thing for the government to do it for the masses, the general public, the poor, the less well off, and whatnot. So this idea, so they have been trying to get us to know that we've been in their programs for 2 programs, and right now we're on from what I understand, on a Speedel program, so we're not complete out of it yet. So they have gotten us to the point where they can dictate the pace or sovereignty. They can even call your tax rates and your rates are part of your sovereignty. In the same way you have a physical sovereignty like the landscape or your land. There's a physical, there's air, sea, and land sovereignty. There's also a sovereignty on your operations where you set your own rates and standards and policy for yourself to suit your thing. But even before the IMF entered the clutches, and they did not invade us. We went after them. They would beg us to take them. We ran them down. We had people, they bragged that we got the so-called IMF program because we had people working with us for over a year on that program. People who were sent by the IMF to work on it. So therefore, by the time they were given the IMF, people from the IMF, the governor of the central bank was seconded to the government of Barbados for a year or more working on this program. So therefore, when if you have a head teacher, you're doing geography, you give them the answers that they want, you must pass. So he a product of the IMF, helped to compile the BOSS and the BER and all those programs. So you must get quick approval. But even before that, this idea of divesting transport had been wrong since 2012. I first heard it a public meeting in the Ivy in 2012 when the Barbados Labour Party was still in opposition. It was a meeting because I remember it very well because it was in the Ivy, and both the Prime Minister, Prime Minister Mottley, and now there's no MP, Trevor Presser, spoke about divestment. And they not only talked about divesting the buses, there was also talk of divesting the equipment, the trucks at the Sanitation Service Authority. You understand? So it's the Transport Board, and both of the ideas seem nonsensical to me. Because I said, everyone considers the cost of a truck or a bus, everyone considers the maintenance of a truck or a bus, everyone considers the insurance of how would the average worker, employee of the SSA or the Transport Board afford to buy, maintain, operate, and make a profit and a good living out of it? So to me, it was a far-fetched gobbledygook idea that made no sense. And then it came back again when, if you recall, Miss Mottley was taken down, removed as leader of the opposition in 2010. And for 2 years, there was little or no association with the BLP. In fact, I'm sure that the first time in 2 years she entered the leader opposition chambers, which are on the western side of Parliament. The Hawk Secretary are in east, the office are in the western. The one next to High Street, if you know me, was when she agreed, when she was invited to reply to the estimates in 2013, right? Because she'd been sulking and distanced herself and spent more time associated with the DLP than with the BLP. So she came back to business, and we had a meeting at Parliament, and this question where we were prepping, it was a meeting of the parliamentary group, we were discussing the estimates, what proposal, what policies, what were the angles should be taken in the presentation of the estimates by Miss Mottley on behalf of the BLP. And the question of privatization came up. Empowering and franchising, all these fancy buzzwords, empowering and franchising, transforming, words that are never spelled out, but they sound good and sexy and glib out of North America, right? So, and it was agreed that that you'll speak of about privatization in a very limited manner. Yes. But when Ms. Mottley presented, she went further than was agreed. And that, if you remember the infamous or famous, very effective bus ad by the old lady for Democrat Labour Party who gave them, right, well, because of the extent to which she dealt with privatization. But after it happened, Mr. Arthur didn't want to throw it on the bus, but he had to try to make sense out to make it more acceptable, understandable, and practical, right? But because of the extent to which she went in delivering this pronouncement about intent to privatize and the desirability to privatize, that played into the hands of the Democratic Party, which obviously sensibly captured it, exploited it in the ad, and that to me, it is felt that is what swung the election. If the results were, the final result for 14 for the BLP and 16, there's only a two seat difference that made it, and they felt that ad is what really made the difference in the outcome of that election. So I'm saying that to say that the Prime Minister has had this thing, or have had this thing in her head for quite some time, and therefore, there's the ad. So therefore, now that you are in the hand, but it doesn't, because it was something determined and dictated and demanded by the IMF, it doesn't make it more acceptable or palatable or reasonable or fair to Barbadians. So it is something, and I'm surprised that a party with a history. Oh, before we do that, the BLP has had it early out early history of privatizing things in the interest of the masses, the general public. Because even before the Transport Board was even before transportation was privatized in 1955, to create the Transport Board, the Adams government nationalized the Barbados Union Oil Company. It created what was then known as the natural gas company that used to be housed on Bay Street, where Browns Beach now, where that beach is now across on Government, the very popular Browns Beach. That section, that is where the headquarters of the natural gas company used to be, and Barbados Union Oil Company. So there was always this commitment that certain things had to be in control of the government and the authorities, the duly elected, democratic elected government, in order to maintain the interest, so that persons cannot willy-nilly, through the desire to make a profit, to put the interest of the general public secondary or tertiary or whatever. And so when this whole transportation, health, education, housing, public housing are all considered public goods. They're not support while a government operation will seek to make the rent as efficiently as possible, effective as possible. They're not intended to run to make a profit. So therefore, there has to be a form of subsidy. But because it's something that's given to the public, it's not a loss, because the public will pay public benefit that goes back into the public. So it's a public good, like the hospital, like education. Suppose we have to start paying for education at primary schools now, or whatnot, or secondary schools, far less the university. So those public goods are vital. So but when you then a government who are talking about divesting to create efficiency, to empower the workers, to give them economic advancement, sweet sounding words, but they never spell it out for how it work, how it impact. So I think it's a tragedy. I will give some further insights in the next time. It has been undertaken in this way. The unions should be shaped up, particularly the Barbados Workers Union, because the Transport Board has been to the Barbados Workers Union. What the port is, the Barbados Workers, they're strong. They depend on them for their numbers, right? And the unions have just sat back, and they acted. This cannot have been a secret. And not only that, next time I deal with the whole procedure has been wrong, both this and the dealing with Uber and the investment. But I'm saying that this is something which Barbados should never settle for. There's no reason why we have to do it. We have enough brains and abilities to find ways of making public transportation affordable, acceptable to the average Barbadian. We did it before with other things. We could do it with transport too. It is just that the government seems to have suspended its brains, its thinking, its intelligence for the IMF, and because you have to do it, you have to go it. But it's a poor excuse. We should never have been brought to this stage, and it does not have to happen. I think it should be rejected in the strongest possible terms, and the government should, like I said, should be ashamed of itself given its history of democratic social and the role played by the Barbados Party in 1955 in creating the Transport Board that has served Barbados very well. It's not made money because it's not supposed. I mean, there's been some scandalous behavior in it over the years because people would steal and leak things. That is the nature of life. So because it has happened, and I want this. Let me do this last thing before I let go. This thing about efficiency, trying to make people believe that once if it is privatized and they have the private sector, it'll be more efficient, and that will automatically make it a viable, effective, efficient operation to make a profit. If that were so, why do businesses in the private sector that already in the sector, why would they close down, get sell out, get shut down, are sold, lose money, don't make profit? Because if efficiency is meant to be an automatic result of privatization, how come these private operations are failures, bankrupt, get sell out, owe people money. So don't ever fall for that fast. You talk about efficiency. Efficiency is relative. All depends on what your objectives are. And that should not be used as a way of shutting down the IMF, shutting down the transport because the IMF has told them they have to if they want to give them on further operations.
Wow.
Okay.
Yes.
I hope that is an insight into my.
So I brought the pod cover for you tonight, you know. So I got.
So sorry about the internet, but that threw me off. I thought I'd try to do as much as I can.
No, this is excellent. We felt like we were in a history class, and I just sat here, you know, and I like, wow, this is awesome. I remembered when we were having these sessions concerning Joe's River and how we were empowered.
Let me give you a personal experience.
Yes.
I quite remember when the transport was nationalized and created Transport Board. I was going to Combermere then. And I remember after it was nationalized, I was going home late in the evening. Yeah, about 5:36. I don't even know where I was coming from at that hour. And they had, in those days, the buses had what they call inspectors or spies or checkers who would check to make sure that the fares and tallies with the numbers, etc. And if it's overloaded, they put you off. This bus I was on was overladen. And when we got to Eagle Hall, the bus fare was 4 cents. So when I got to Eagle Hall, they made me get off. And I created a fight because I said, this fare is not, I want back my penny. And they almost called the police. I remember that very well because I thought I was being unfair. I thought it was wrong. If a bus fare from British Town to Spoons is 4 cents and you stop halfway, it should be a penny. And so I had to walk from Eagle Hall with my book bag and books all at school.
You were fighting over this penny.
I was 12 going 13. Just 12. 12.
Listen, you are radical like Jesus.
No. Have to fight for your rights. Before apology. A penny was a big amount of money in those days. Ask Mr. Lewis. And then it was a lot of money. Okay, over to you now, Marcia. And I was looking forward to hearing Mr.
Yeah, that is funny. That's funny. But I want to before we go to Mr. Lewis, I want to ask you a quick question though.
Sure.
You said that we need to resist it with everything that we have, but that's what I heard. And I'm thinking because we were planning to do a march this Saturday, but I felt like I wasn't sure. I said to the others, I think we need to wait on the workers. Although if it's a decision, it's going to affect the people. But what are your thoughts? How do you suggest that we fight this? You said resist it with all of our might. How do we resist it?
And the first step towards effective resistance is to educate the people as to the implications, as to what it would mean to their lives, the quality of life. They're moving back and forth to go to school, to go to work, to go to the hospital, to get home from sports and games. All of their natural daily lives will be impacted by this. Because if we want to be efficient, if you put it in the hands I see there's some proposal to put in the hands of Mass Transit Authority and basically section it out to the private sector. In other words, you'll be enlarging the role that the ZR vans and the owners and the minibus are paying out. They will have the bulk of that. They'll be the majority operator, but they're supposed to supervise and guide it under the aegis of this supposed transport authority. But tell me something. And remember, the transport authority already exists in Barbados. It has been operating in Barbados since 2008. And they're supposed to manage and oversee and discipline and control the operation of the ZR minibus sector. How effective have they been in that? If they have not been able to curtail or impose any discipline of that, how if you modify that by what 3 or 4 times, how without any change in, I'll have to be told what methods, what culture, what systems that you can seek to impose discipline and get the best possible deal out of the new arrangement. Otherwise, you'll be just making ground for monkey to rampant, as they would say. We're just creating chaos because the history of the management of that sector is not one that we can be proud of. It has been allowed to get away far too long, and no government has been willing to put the brakes on it. I remember, I believe Victor might be able to remember this, probably in the early 70s, 80s, early 80s, there was a case where a minibus was prosecuted for playing loud music. They had a big hi-fi, had a big set and it went to court, and the driver, the operator was acquitted because it was deemed that was private property, that it was going to deprive their person. Even though I've driven in buses in Barbados before, I've driven in buses all over the world. I've never known a bus that with music in it. Never. By the fact they said, oh, the reason was they want to hear the news and this is the action. Foolishness. So that and nobody ever went back to amend the legislation or the regulations to change it. They think, for what the court said, I don't know if Victor might be able to have a better recall of it, that was an integral part of the equipment and the operation of the bus. But that should have been taken back to the court and redrafted, fresh regulation or law to curb the behavior. That loud music has now morphed into the monster we have today, with all the loud music and the disgusting lyrics and bad behavior, all of which reinforce one another. And it'll take a couple of generations to reverse that. But we have, because people's values don't change so easily. It takes, in the same way that came on. When I was going to school at Carmel and you were in the school buses, you had to behave, otherwise you'd be reported. Okay, by the conductor, by a prefect, it was discipline. They were so disciplined that if you were not wearing your tie, your sock, probably the driver would point out to you, so I'd tell the teacher. So they were all part of a discipline regime, and it's part of the community standards and understand that there's certain things that are desirable and acceptable and should be adhered to. But no, that has gone the other direction. Yeah. Right? And therefore, anything that comes, even if there's no mass transit, or even if there's no privatization, steps should be taken now, at this time, to revamp the whole approach to the operations of what will take its place. So I lived in Toronto for many years. I used to travel by Toronto Transit compared to TTC. Publicly owned, with some input, probably owned and controlled with some input from the private sector. But if I'm working for 4 o'clock, because I used to work 4 o'clock to 12 to 8, I can come to the bus at 3:10, and a bus will be there.
Yeah.
Even when it's snowing, so it's organized. So if they can do it, we can do it too. But we have to have the discipline and the culture and the input to impose and make it happen. How can you expect doctors and surgeons to be disciplined when they are taking care of your health, and anybody else can do as they like when it does not make sense? If they can do it, we can do it too.
Yes, well said. Thank you so much, Mr. Murray. More importantly, we're seeing that you're in good health.
Yes, I am good.
That's important.
It was only cataract. It was nothing major that I was in danger of losing my sight. So
we want to be like you where we grew up. And, because we are grateful for you, and you were missed. You were really missed, and it causes us all to recognize what we have, and when that history, and we really appreciate it. We appreciate what you do, Miss McLean, what Rose does, and those who are just a little older than us.
Yeah, I'm glad you said it. I like to point out to my friends that I'm not old. I'm getting older. When I'm old is when I'm cast aside and can't do anything for myself. I am getting older. I'm far from that right now. So and that's something that no, let me say this as well. I keep jumping into Victor's
I'm
time.
sorry, you haven't been here a long time.
No, I don't want to be disrespectful and selfish, but I'm glad to get. No, you're hearing frequently that Barbados is an aging society. We're complete Barbados is an aging society, but an aging society. And from my perception and from talking to people and listening to younger people, etc., that has created an attitude where older people are bother, wasting our time. You know, where you take up unnecessary space, where you go home and then you get your job. So if you keep making Barbados, of course, it's the aging society because of successive governments, you've had a improved standard of living, so you learn to live longer.
Yes.
So that is why. So it's not anything that people like me do to create a problem. It's that we have lived well, we've got improved health, and we are living longer than our forefathers because of improved sanitation, nutrition, lifestyles, etc. So I'm saying that if you keep hammering this thing about what the agency said, before putting in the context of a society that's maturing, and it should always be maturing.
Mm-hmm.
It will help. That will help fester the lack of consideration that the younger generation often is prepared to show towards persons who are supposed to be older or whatever. The sort of people who we call an aging society. If they live, and I like to tell you, when people tell me, I'm a young person. As a young person, I said, what does that mean? I said, being a so-called youngster, 70, 80, 90, 20, you are an accident of nature.
Mm-hmm.
You have not achieved anything, because I passed through that too. So to be young is a process, it's not an achievement. So you are not entitled to my mind to aim. I know you are very sweet on the young people, Marcia. I know that. But I take a more objective look at it, right? You have to learn and contribute. There's nothing special. There was nothing special about me being young when I was 19, 18, 19. I still had to work and contribute and grow and develop, that sort of thing. So that is one of my pet peeves about that. We have to make sure there's not this distinction, otherwise it's going to cause problems intergenerationally and whatnot. That's enough for that for now.
Thank you so much, Mr. Murray. Thank you for that. Well, Mr. Lewis is here, and we were actually calling your name last night. Was it last night? Was Sunday night? Yes, we were. And Mr. Lewis will tell you why he was calling your name. Welcome, Mr. Victor Lewis, and thank you for your patience. We are 28 minutes late. Thank you for your patience. But as you saw, we had challenges with Mr. Murray's technical with his camera and his Wi-Fi, etc. So our apologies. But take it away, Mr. Lewis.
Thank you very much, and good night to everyone. Good night to all
Good night, Victor.
I want to say a special good night to Miss Trotman, 75-year-old Miss Trotman from Christchurch. She would have called me on several occasions, encouraging me on and seeking to be there to, and as much as possible, give that level of emotional support, because she saw that the whole venture on this matter would have been a challenging one, and she would always call and say hello to Victor, keep it up, and gave me that great encouragement that I needed, So I really want to extend sincere thanks to her, and I'm certain that she will continue to be the level of support for other ventures of a similar nature. I really want to commend you, Mr. Murray, because of the slant that you took in this presentation, bringing the whole concept of the transportation network that we have being analogous to that of the main artery in our bodies, right? That when that goes to zero, we also goes to zero. And You know, I was really sitting back when you mentioned just now that I think you said you lived in Montreal and
No, Toronto, but the same thing.
Toronto,
Right.
you know, but in the United States, you can't get on a bus. Many times I would have traveled on the Greyhound bus if I'm leaving New York and going down to Washington D.C. and you can't get on none of those Greyhound buses, you know, with any kind of music because the bus driver must not hear anything. If you're on there and you have on your headphones and you can, you know, play your music, but the minute that that bus driver can hear anything, he stops the bus to let you know that you can't do that in this bus. He will put you off. And the next thing you know, the police will turn up alongside that bus and you're taken off if you want to continue with that behavior. And not only for the Greyhound buses who would have, you know, who would be engaged and going the long distances, but even the domestic buses in the area of DC, you can't do that. And there's no way in those developed countries that we will see that kind of behavior. And I think it is rather interesting that you asked just now relative to, you know, the legislators stepping in and tweeting the laws so that we can have a better environment here. But we've also got to be conscious that that's not good for business as far as the lawyers are concerned, you know. So that environment there would allow that to continue to prevail because it's business. And everybody is so concerned about the dollar, but not necessarily the social fabric of our country, that we would also seek to have a great sustained development of that social fabric. So we have seen it falling apart, you know, just last week, you know, we guy 21 years old and I think 27 years old, and we've seen it all the time. I had to call my wife and just show her the photos, and whenever we see the photo, you see a big chain around the neck. And I'm just wondering, you know, what direction our society would have gone in um, with this kind of culture that seems to be totally out of hand. Um, I'm just as concerned of you as you are, Mr. Murray. You
Yeah.
know, it's great to hear you on the show. It's wonderful to listen to how your presentations, and I'm certain that lots of folks out there listening on, you know, can certainly get the opportunity to be better citizens because of the level of instruction, the level of consciousness that you bring to the people. So I want to commend you on that. And
Thank you.
I was very happy to hear that you're coming back on to the show.
I was very happy to hear you on because I want to hear the Joe's River story from the inside, from you, the Joe's River story.
Well, you see, my concern here, you know, Mr. Murray, my first obligation is to God. That's my first obligation. And every time I gotta lay on my bed, I don't know if I'm gonna wake again. And every morning I get up and the sun shines through the window, I want to give God thanks for another day. My first obligation is to Him, my Creator. I cannot be politically correct. That is not part of my domain. That is not how I think. My fundamental is to tell the truth. And whenever one seeks to be politically correct, they would at some point in time be telling a lie to be politically correct. So when you think of the initial stages of this whole process with the George River Gully, I didn't stand up on that bridge when the workers were there to look up on their shirts to see if they were red or yellow, if they were B, D, or an NP. that has no interest to me. My concern there and then was that what I saw transpiring there was not justice for the people of Barbados and for its visitors. I had to take no consideration of the political implications of any stance that I took. So I went home for my camera, came back, videotaped, and sent it viral. And that stance for me has not changed from 2023 until now. Because everything that I did, I just recall in court when I took up that Bible to say, I will say the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. That was easy for me. No problems whatsoever. The judge, he was very clinical in his questioning, and certainly for the defense lawyer, the same boat. And I really want to commend them. But by the same token, it wasn't a challenge because I sought not to be politically correct in anything that I would have said. And taking such a stance, it takes me continually back to listening to Dr. Crystal Haynes. And that is why I have so much appreciation for her, because she sought not to be politically correct. Her stance as a young lady was to tell the truth and nothing less than the truth. So it appears to me that our society now seems to be so concerned as to what is said and how it is said and the political implications. So let me say to everyone out there, and I repeat it myself so that it sinks home. My first obligation is to God. And if there's a first, certainly there's a second, maybe a third, or otherwise. But my second obligation is to my wife. To my wife. So when people expect Victor Lewis to be politically correct, it can't work. Because at some point in time, my eyes will close. Your eyes will close. And I have got to give God an account for my life. You have got to give God an account for your life. If you are spiritually inclined, then I would like to assume that you know there's a creator. You know he created you. And you know there is this atmosphere now of truth against error. And I want to stand and continue to stand on the side of truth. Being politically correct is to say what other people want you to say. So when Crystal Haynes stood up in Parliament and spoke the truth, not what other individuals like the Prime Minister of this country wanted her to say, she was ostracized because of the stance that she took. And here's a young lady, the future of this country, being treated like that.
If I interject, Victor, if
Go
you
ahead,
don't mind.
go ahead.
I'm not anywhere nearly as religious as you and Marcia and others are. But I mean, although at one time I fancied myself as being I actually got my soul saved when I was about 14 years old, but I didn't go back. I didn't maintain the path. But I recall.
Book. I'm listening and I just kind of moved out in the green room. I read that book. You got saved for the girls.
Gee, no. Yeah, but no, but I remember. I know. I was taught. There's a part of the Bible that says, "I'd rather be a doorkeeper in the house of the Lord than to dwell in the tents of the ungodly." So when you
say that again, Mr. Murray. Come, Mr. Murray.
I think it's a psalm.
Man. Repeat that one again, Mr. Murray,
I would rather be a doorkeeper in the house of the Lord than to dwell in the tents of the ungodly. So when I left the BLP and they were calling me and cussing me, I told them that a doorkeeper's mouth stamp at the door, nothing important. But I'd rather be doing that job on the outside than to go inside with things that I no longer appreciated. So I'd rather be in the doorkeeper at the house of the Lord, Victor. So that is to energize you and to give you further sustenance in your religious quest. But I also want to say that judge has raised the bar among the judiciary in Barbados, as I'm concerned. To give a 48-page judgment in a week is tremendous work in a short period of time. And it shows what can be done if people want to do it. And I don't think Mr. Wells is a Barbadian. But he has caught, when I read his judgment, if you know, I like to get the full judgment to read, but when I read what I saw on the paper, he caught the spirit of the Barbadian masses and people in his analysis and his pronouncement. And then to be only that, he went to see it himself. So you don't have to depend on any expert, what you say. He had and got look at the parameters that came to his own conclusion. And that was one of the things that I remember when I was Prime Minister Adams's personal assistant. He put me on a committee, a town country plan review committee where we would review if you had complaints about decisions, or we would meet with them and talk to them and investigate, etc. And we would go and see the spots, the sites. You know, Mr. Adams or something, they'd go by himself or with the official then by himself, or be one or the other to hear for yourself. I am not sure that the Minister of Planning and Development, who is the Prime Minister, I've never heard it said that she herself, who has the ultimate decision making in that department, saw physically to go and see for herself, not a document or video or what somebody said, go and see for herself. I think that's a tremendous, that says something about the integrity of Justice Wells, and it is to be admired and commended for it. It also shows you that our instincts about this were right from the beginning, that it was wrong. It was wrong, was being attempted. And I remember when we could not understand, having read the judge's judgment, I think I still can't understand how he could have gone there, seen all that, and other persons who are lawyers or legal advisors could not have seen the infractions and the implications for what was there.
Because they are seeking to be politically correct. And in such a process, those individuals cannot go home and sleep with a clear conscience. That's the challenge. People are calling me and asking me, Victor, you know, I can't believe that you would go through such an experience for all these years, and now you are experiencing victory. I would not be able to. So be part of such an environment with so much emotional tension coming from all directions. And I'm saying to you, I'm trying to be a bit careful with my words. I'm saying to you, Mr. Murray, that it wasn't an easy path. That is why I'm so thankful that when I hear this phone ring and then I hear Miss Trotty here, you know, that's the moment that I felt good about. When I can see Maxine, when I can see Mr. Murray, when I can see Rose, when I can see people passing me through town, when I can, bus drivers will stop. You know, when I'm out there one morning exercising with the dog, bus drivers will stop and encourage me on. Those are moments when people don't know that you're up against it psychologically. But at the end of it all, when I sit by my bed at night and get up in the morning, I'll go exercising. When I'm in Joseph Forest relaxing, I just want to look up and give God thanks for the way that He has guided me. Because I know what I've been through. And it has not been an easy road.
Victor, what the judge's ruling and his appreciation of the law and traditions, the patrimony of Barbados and what it represents to Barbados. To me, I hope that changed the whole dynamics of that new mentality that had begun to creep in that East Coast Road and other parts of it, especially that East Coast Road. I hope it now opens people's eyes to see that things can be challenged and can be challenged successfully. But it also bothers me that we have not heard one of the things that bothers me about this issue, and that's why I started to probe the Planning and Development Division. We have not heard a word from the chairman. I'm still not sure who the chairperson is. It's a very important department in government, run at the taxpayers' expense. And I would like, therefore, the Plan and Development Division must have given approval for the work that was being attempted, Mr. Haynes. Must have.
You know, Mr. Murray,
I want to know on what basis then?
There are several things, right? There are several things that transpired there that really had me concerned, right? And my perspective most likely would have been a little different from other individuals involved in the process, because we sought to seek some kind of reconciliation, you know, go to the drawing board to see how we can best come up with, you know, some degree of balance in terms of the area where the developer can enjoy the area, and as much as we also will not be deprived of access. And that access meaning, you know, to the riverbed and to the cup and saucer. But let me say it to you, right? I don't have to polish my words. When I saw the recommendations or proposals that were being made throughout the process, where he was seeking to reconcile with us, to come up with what he may classify as a reasonable offer, right? And there's the fancy word out there that we see being employed, a generous offer. And I'm going to get back to this whole concept of generosity in other areas that we have, or that I have under observation. But here it is. This gentleman wanted to put up a barrier across the pathway to stop people from driving into the cup and saucer. Now, we talk about town and country planning. So I just wonder within myself, well, you know, what will this be doing to our people, to the residents, to the users, to me? What will it be doing to me? I am retired, and if I feel like going to get in my vehicle now and drive down to Teacup and Saucer and stand up and watch and hope to find a star in the sky, I have the right to do that. But there's this developer stating that this is what he planned to do. They came with another drawing with the stairways leading from Teacup and Saucer into music. Then with another drawing with a flyover bridge landing all of us at the end of the gully into the area again of music. Then there was a route given where we would have to climb over boulders, walk down the gully, then find ourselves to trek our way back up through the gully in order to enjoy where we have enjoyed all the time. It said to me there and then that this person appears to have been given the keys to this country. And no disrespect, but when I can see recommendations like that being made for me to begin with, this is what I must now do. I must walk across the crest from the area opposite the bridge to Teacup and Saucer. Then I must walk down a steep step into music and find myself back to George River Gully or back to my vehicle in the area of Powell Spring. That is the level of reception that was being offered to the people of the area, and certainly to me. And I cannot be politically correct.
Victor, that was
disrespectful.
Disrespect, and that can laugh.
You know,
I want to ask you, Victor.
And hold it there for a bit, you know. And why other individuals with me may would have had other views. We can accept this, we can accept that. And I really want to commend, you know, the representative for St. Joseph, because it's at one time I heard him say, while we were having a meeting there by Hillcrest, he said, this man will go be mad to expect that the people are going to walk and go around a fencing, cross big boulders that are there under the bridge. I never forget those words, right? So our representative was also very concerned as to what he was offering and classifying as a generous offer to us. It sent me mentally back to 1937, when we would be encountering an environment of the master and the slaves. So I took a stance.
Yeah.
And nothing polished, period. And between then and now, I will not, I cannot, I will never be seeking to be politically correct. I would at all times speak the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Whether it hurts or don't hurt, at the end of it all, my conscience, when I close my eyes, will be clear. Go ahead, Mr. Murray.
Yeah. Given the would-be generosity provider, background, ancestry, socialization in Australia, he probably thought he was in the outback dealing with some Aborigines or something. And he could come down here and just ride roughshod but he could not have done. He might have wanted to, but he could not have done it without support and approval. I wonder those proposals. The question I really had of you just now. Those proposals, the various proposals that were made, right? The variations of the product, were they actually approved by out of the plan and country development, plan development? Were they actually approved?
That's a wonderful question, and the head of planning and development is the Prime Minister. So we got to ask her that question, right?
Because given what the judge said, all that information would have been available to her, the government, the plan. On what basis they, enlighten me, on what basis, if these things have been approved, I don't believe, despite all the money he might have access that he would have gone so far unless some approvals were given somewhere along the line.
It appears to me, Mr. Murray, that this gentleman was emboldened.
Why? Why?
Well, don't ask me. I would like to think that you might ask me by who. So that concerns me too, because when an individual can say, well, you don't want to go down the stairs, the winding stairs into music, but let me send you there in a flyover bridge into the gully. I mean, and that decision is made overnight, When you can do something like that and it can happen overnight, it tells me it's an insult to my integrity.
Yeah, you know what it tells.
And this statement is not political; it's the truth.
And you would know that all over this issue when we talked about both Georgia's developments in Barbados, parts in Barbados, and the plan, the development division, I made a reference to that document, which had in that haunting, that frightening quotation in a letter signed by the Prime Minister, which he says, which he advised, it was in a book that was a catalogue of the areas of possible potential areas of development in Barbados, the projects and places that are available for investment. And when she made it clear that they had amended the whole Tongue and Plenty Act, and then they don't have a new plan and development act, and that when you apply with a presumption in favor of development, which to me means just going through the motions. You can say, yeah, I get it through, this will be approved. And not only that, the letter said, and if you're out of line, if there's anything out of line and can't be approved for whatever reason, in your original submission, we will get back to you quickly and point out to you how you can get it done by correcting those errors. So when people see I hear that, to me that's a frightening, that's an open sesame. They can virtually do as they like, but thank God we are having a different measure of non-development at Whole Town, and I think that's the next one we're going to work on answering question out.
I heard that. I've been around all the time, but I just wanted you guys to have that moment together. But you said something about Whole Town. I guess we might have to talk off camera about that. You said non-development happening at Whole Town. What's going on there?
I've not been in the Whole Town in a while, so I can't give you. It has come to. I'm not sure.
All right, don't talk yet. Look, we will talk
okay.
off air, and then we will, because I've been hearing a birdie saying another thing, but I didn't get it official, so I'll talk with you off, okay? But that should be interesting. But I've been off and listening to you guys, and I'm taking my own notes and sending Mr. Murray some follow-up, giving him some homework. Now that he's back, and we're planning to have Mr. Lewis on, if he would allow, every night. So because I think
except
Friday.
when I go to give my God thanks,
Yes, Friday. Yeah. So Wednesday night, God willing, sir, you'll be here with us again. And Mr. Murray, I sent you the homework. And if
Okay.
you can come on, and once it's done, then we can present it. But I think that we need to really, as citizens, look to see what really happened, Mr. Murray, that brought us here. What did we do wrong? What did our leaders do wrong? What as citizens, what did we do? What about the planning and development? What Look at it to see how did we get here? I think it's important.
I was taught, especially when I was in government, if you deal with a proposal or a project coming to Barbados, somebody wants to do, you ask, what benefit can it be to Barbados? How would it enhance Barbados? What good would it do to Barbados? Those are the first questions you ask. But when these things come about, it seems as though those principles and practices and standards and that critical thinking that used to obtain as a man, of course, have been thrown through the window. And now it's grab and catch it to catch can to say you got it. But those things used to be alien to the Barbadian political experience in Barbados. There was a more structured, reasonable, understandable thing you can follow. But some of the decisions that you see are astounding, simply astounding. I mean, some of the steps have been taken, and for that to do a whole town, 1627, no 1625. Bridgetown was 1627, and then 1620, no, Bridgetown was 1628. But in this year, 1625, 600 years, and you mess it up like that. You're doing on the 600th anniversary of that site, that project. You're doing the same thing you've done to the 7th anniversary of the transport book. You're
I was
mushing
thinking
it,
the same.
eradicating it,
I was thinking
eradicating it.
the same thing.
Something is wrong with their thinking.
Something, and I think that when we celebrate, we really need to dissect it. We need to understand what happened here, and dissect it, Mr. Murray, and document it properly. What happened here? And I think going through that document, and we can talk in a week, but we need to, Mr. Lewis, we need to be able to write this down. I think this is very important to document it. I know it's ongoing because we don't know what's going to happen, but the point is, we're at this point, this juncture, we need to look at it because they might come back. We don't know what's happening with the whole town, and we don't know what else they're going to come with. You see? So we need to understand it. But I'll just let you guys make one more comment each on this segment, and then we're going to open up the phone line, and then
Yeah.
I want to take a couple minutes to show you something funny. I think it's funny, and that we need to look at. We need to look at it, and I'll tell you what it's all about
Okay.
before we go. But let Mr. Murray and then Mr.
Yeah.
Lewis quickly.
I just
Yeah.
want to say that the way the George River judgment has turned out, I hope it has opened the eyes, the heart, the soul of Barbadians to let them know that you don't have to sell for what the powers want to be. That it can be challenged and challenge successfully once you have right and justice and the facts on your side. It is not beyond you. I remember having Don Blackman and Cole Williams and the Administrative Review Act when because the contract award to raise side rather than cow. So they can be challenged. People should not be cowed by these things. It was always bothered me that nobody, even the spice in the whole town area, had been prepared to do anything to challenge that whole process. Ask questions, ask for review, tell us why, explain. But I guess maybe this will help to grease the wheels further in that direction. I look forward to more of this kind of decision being made, or decision dissuading people from wanting to go into in that kind of development.
Yes. Mr. Lewis.
Um, I really want to look back again at Senator Crystal Haynes, because she spoke the truth. She
Yes.
sought not to be politically correct. I am ready to vote for her to be the Prime Minister of this country on one count, because she sought to tell the truth.
The truth. Correct.
at the possible expense of which we know she experienced after, where she was ostracized for telling the truth. So I want to encourage
I,
all the individuals out there who would have embraced this case, embraced this experience, that the truth, as the Bible states, always set you free. So don't ever be dissuaded in any way when you're challenged. Always stand up for the truth. Hats off to Crystal Haynes. And
Yeah.
I am certain that she will be a very effective person when Marcia, you and Mr. Murray and I, when we close our eyes, this lady will be the Prime Minister of this country on the sole count that she encourages people to tell the truth and not be politically expedient.
Yes.
You
And
know, don't forget Marcia. Otherwise, though, you know, on a slightly different note, I want to pull I want to pull that list up, because when we are celebrating, we're not celebrating a win on Independence Day. We are celebrating the fact that justice prevailed,
yes.
because Mr. Haynes is not a loser. Neither do we see ourselves as winners. But justice prevailed, and we will seek to coexist with him as one of our neighbors. But, you know, constructive criticism will still have its place. So I want to get that list up before the program closes, because we need all the folks out there to be, you
What?
know, helping contribute to the soup. You know, the soup. We
Oh,
have a list.
yes.
Mr. Barr sent me the list. I send it to your inbox and I send it to Dave, so
Oh,
either person can pull it up and you can
yes.
just hit it there.
Okay.
You know.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
just seeing it now because you said
Yes.
the show started.
Yes.
All right, no problem. So what we'll do before the
Yeah, a
show?
little later down, yeah, we can just shoot it up, and we get, you know, a full loyal opposition contributing, and you know, we have a grand time
Yes,
on Independence Day.
most definitely, most definitely.
Hmm.
Thank you for that. And I want to, you and I know, and you and I know the impact. Um, Christian Haynes. People hear us talk about it, about her, and they don't understand. They probably don't understand. There were times, Crystal Haynes was like, it was like an inspiration. I remember at one point for what you and I had to do. We can only talk about it like that, okay? And she didn't. I want to say something that she didn't just. We know about her losing the Senate job, but what people don't understand, Mr. Murray, it's when you're in the public eye and something like this happens and you have your practice, okay? If you've been and your thing is publicized, you know that your practice could be
I,
affected one way or the other.
Marcia, I think the story is that she suffered professionally and financially.
Yes, she did. Thank you.
Let the public know that. Let the public know
She
that she
suffered
suffered financially and professionally.
and financially, and I'm glad you said it. That it's not I said it. You understand? But I'm saying this woman for me in this whole thing about when you talk about this overdevelopment, Mr. Murray, and she reminds me of when I read about Mr. Hatch. Then, you know what Reverend Hatch
Oh yeah,
is it?
Andrew Hatch. Yeah, Andrew Hatch, Father Andrew Hatch. Yes.
You must remember her when she said wall to wall to wall. And watch and so I hear people say, well, somebody in the thing said, oh, she only stood up for one bill. Not really. There was something else with doctors that she stood up for, but she went and she researched. I want this young lady to one day be able to tell her full story of what really happened behind the scenes. And you can see we are making a big thing about her, and she's not even. She's a BLP, and that's what we're trying to say. Victor and I trying to say to
Hmm.
people. Mr. Murray, it's not about that. It's about your commitment to the people. Your
But
commitment to the people and to the country.
I just like to advise Dr. Haynes that being a BLP is not a permanent condition. It's not a permanent. It's something you can do something about it anytime you want. So it's not something imposed on her. So whenever it's in the future, whenever she wants to do what she wants, but she doesn't have to be a BLP all of her life forever and ever. So she has options.
Yeah, she does, and and somebody, I don't know, she will have to confirm it, but from what I was told, is from a reliable source, but Miss Haynes can always confirm it. That there was one of the reasons she's not, you don't hear her talking too much is, could it be that she was threatened? Could it be? It's just a question. Could it be that this young lady who didn't speak on behalf of herself and had nothing to gain, nothing, if it was something about medicine and so on, but nothing to gain.
Uh,
Ha. I know you know something, Mr. Murray, but we leave it there. We will leave it there, because she has her
yeah,
family and so on, and we
of
don't.
course, yeah.
And that's the unfortunate thing about this country, Miss Murray. At the stage where we're in right now, we can't speak. We can't speak freely the way we are supposed to speak. But I once again thank you wherever you are. If I don't know if she watches the show, somebody can tell her. But we would love for her to, bring the family down at Joe's River. And I'm hoping for the day we will have a celebration like this at the whole town. I'm hoping for that day. But we got to move on. We got to move on, folks. Listen, Mr. Murray here, we talk about the whole time, and it's 18 minutes to 10, and we we were talking about something, today, and there's been a lot of chatter on my Facebook pages, and it has to do, Mr. Murray and Mr. Victor Lewis, because you guys, you're not on social media that much, but
At all. I'm a WhatsApp man. WhatsApp. Safe with WhatsApp.
but I was I was making a point on social media today about about a double standard, and the double standard I'm speaking of is when we will say things about people who are about people in leadership. All the years that I've been here, I've heard calypso sung about leaders, and some of it is hilarious. Some of it, if it's a leader that you like, you don't want to sing that song. But the point is that it happens. You're a public figure. People do caricature of you. People make fun, and they say different things, etc. You're a public figure. We saw where Ronnie Clark got into trouble because he wrote a song about somebody in government, who he proved by the letter that that person complained because they got offended by what he sung about. Okay, so we are seeing a lot of those things happening in society, and when those things happen, what it does, it creates a chill. That's what they call a chilling effect, where people are afraid to say things, afraid to make jests, and so on. But I want to show people something that happened in 2017. It said 10 years ago. So what is that, Mr. Murray? I think you will tell me.
Yeah,
2017 is 8 years ago.
8 years ago. Okay. Dave, Dave, can you put up the one on Mr. Stewart? So here is somebody making a video on Prime Minister Stewart, which I think both him and Sandiford, but you could tell me, were the most teased. Jokes were made on them more than anybody else. Now, Look at. I want people to take a good look at this, and I'm not trying to be offensive for those of you who are big followers of thing, but this was done, by people from the BLP. As you know, they gave him a name. They gave they gave Mr. Stewart a name, and one of the name was Fumble. You remember that?
Right.
And
Yeah.
fumble, when you look at the meaning of the fumble, a fumble, it basically just somebody who's clumsy while doing anything, right?
Right.
And they foul up, they make a mess, they slip up, they're goofy, they goof up on things, okay? And this picture is a character. I can't remember which cartoon character this is, but this is a picture. This is a cartoon character. If somebody knows who he is, can tell me. But this is what was used as a caricature or to characterize Mr. Stewart. And you know what? We did not hear this huge outcry about it. Did you hear a big outcry about it, Mr. Murray? You probably were teasing him too.
Me? No. I never got to that kind of. I have a lot of respect for Mr. Stewart. We've always got on well together. So I've never indulged in that kind of. I vaguely recall it. So it's not something that I would commit to memory.
Social media, so you probably would not have known. But this was something big. Somebody says it was Snuffleupagus. Did I say that right?
Yes, Snuffleupagus. Yes.
Snuffleupagus. Okay. So he was the character that they used for Fronda Stewart. All right. And people, this was all over. This has had over thousands of views. I went back and looked. It still sits on YouTube to this day. Okay. Did you know of this, Mr. Lewis?
Well, I using my phone here now, so I didn't have to go and take a snap, so I'm Googling it.
The point I'm making, though, if this was allowed and people I was on social media very big at that time, and this was a big thing. It was a laugh, it was a joke. I had children at Praise Academy, Mr. Murray, who were laughing on this thing because Snuffleupagus is a children's character, and so they laugh at it. And I remember children were laughing at the Prime Minister's nose. I hear children saying that he's too black, and all of these kinds of things, and so on. That is what. So they've played the video because I want to play this, and then I'm going to show you something that's current, right? That they are saying is disrespectful, and that not so much as it should not be done of the Prime Minister. However, it is their same camp. It's a BLP camp that produced this of Mr.
Stewart.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So play this for me, Dave.
According to reports reaching me, according to reports reaching me, according to reports reaching me, my nose is broad. 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 The nose is mine. The nose is mine. The nose is mine. The nose is mine. My nose is broad. My nose is broad. My nose is broad. My nose is broad. From the time I was a second former at the Boys Foundation School, my nose is broad. 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 The nose is mine. The nose is mine. The nose is mine. The nose is mine. My nose is broad. My nose is broad. My nose is broad. My nose is broad. Broad or narrow? Broad or narrow?
there's a point to it. It's a point to it that we cannot have double standards. If this was fine and the BLP supporters were posting it and making a big, up to this day, it's a big joke. It's a running joke of Mr. Stewart. Dave, put up the other picture for me now, if you can. Are you there? Now, Dave? Okay, right. He's looking it up, and it's I think we you know, I'm not trying to say that one right makes a wrong or whatever the thing is. I am talking about a double standard where all of a sudden nobody must say anything about this current prime minister. We mustn't say anything about this current prime minister. No jokes must be made. No, nothing must be done. No, nothing. And your entire, a big portion of your campaign was on this gentleman. Now, on the screen is the character, is Miss Piggy. It's a character. It's a character. Now, Miss Piggy came about after what was done to several things, well, especially after Crystal Haynes, the way she was treated. Now, who is Miss Piggy? Who is Miss Piggy? Let me see, Dave, let me see the characteristics of anybody here know Miss Piggy? Everybody ever seen Miss Piggy? Mr. Murray, you watch any of these cartoons? Wait, I unmuted you all because the noise was coming.
Well, I think that's probably a character from Sesame Street or something.
Well, not so much Sesame Street, but
of that era.
Yes.
Mhm.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
She would beat up the lizard.
She would beat up. Yeah, she beats up. Yeah. So this is Miss Piggy is a fictional Muppet character, known for being a glamorous diva pig, right? With a strong personality, who is obsessed with fame and are on again and off again. It says the romance with Kermit the Frog that she was another frog, it's not a lizard, it's a frog. Right? The phrase Miss Piggy character refers to this specific iconic puppet, right? And so it can also be used to broadly describe a type of flamboyant and self-confident individual, right? So but the whole it goes up until, see, Dave, if you have some more. That's it. Okay, right. I had some more things there about Miss Piggy, because she, as you said, she would kind of throw her weight around. Okay, so Dave, put back the picture up.
No, I want. Could you read that there? The one that's highlighted, Marcia.
Oh, I didn't see. Miss Piggy, known for her strong, demanding, and self-absorbed personality, often expressing a sense of grandeur and a need for fame. And there are lots of us who believe that there are characteristics of Miss Piggy in the Prime Minister.
But Marcia, is that the truth?
That what?
Now, I would want to ask individuals, right, if they can objectively look at these characteristics and so relate it to what they observe in the Prime Minister. Is it the truth? That's the hard question that people have to ask themselves. Don't seek to be politically correct. You don't want to go out there and offer derogatory comments about people. Fair enough, you don't want to get into that environment. But one thing have to critically ask themselves the question, are these characteristics what we see in the leadership for this country? That's a question you've got to justifiably ask yourself. and don't necessarily ask it in the presence of anyone else. Go on the DT barefoot tree and sit down and think and ask that critical question to yourself and be justified and be open in terms of your analysis.
It says here too that this phrase can be used to describe someone with a similar, outsized, dramatic, or diva-like personality. Okay, right. So what am I saying? What am I saying? Throughout the test of time, really, throughout the ages, there is no political leader that they haven't done a skit about. I don't think done some comedy about. We look at even Trump, the wonderful Christian people. Sometimes the names that they call Trump. Sometimes, Mr. Murray, I hear you calling some names too. Deservedly so, right? Deservedly so for Trump. So I am saying, what makes this particular particular leader so different that nobody is supposed to do a skit on them, caricature on them, nothing on this particular leader. Because once you do that, okay, it becomes this big thing, and God disapproves, and they bring in this divine thing. And what's going on here? Mr. Murray, I see you want to say something.
I'm a little disappointed that we could be spending so much time on what really is trivia. It really is trivia. First of all, I think persons, and I think what you should not be surprised that this is the reaction of the BLP and their supporters, or the supporters, right? Because this is what they want. They want to throw you off your game by other people, so they jump to the defense of what they perceive as it might be a slight on their leader. But the point is, many years ago when he did psychology, one of the first things he learned that about personality types, that the person, and I say that just to move on to another point and prove my point. Personality, when people generally are big and show off and dominant and bully, they're basically insecure. And once they're insecure, anything can throw them off because they're insecure. Now contrast the reaction of the people to this picture as you mentioned. And look at Mrs. Stewart. When I heard that to Mrs. Stewart made a statement. Mrs. Stewart, what in other words, and Tom Adams did the same thing when Grinder brought us on Mr. T. You turn it around, you make a fun of it, and you dismiss it, right? You don't absorb it. I remember after that song was very popular, and the BLP was having an audience like that at the Marine Hotel, and we decided to invite. The Prime Minister Adams said, I want Mr. T to sing that song. You know, man, he's supported with any brand. He came, he sang it, and next time we had some T-shirts, my cup of tea. Knock it out. I demolish it. I don't like what you do. You turn it, you laugh at yourself. Mrs. Stewart was dismissive. He was, because Mrs. Stewart is by nature, as far as I know him, they observe him, a self-assured man who's comfortable with himself. So he wouldn't let this frivolity get the better of him and get his people upset about it. That's junk. Pure. So thank God I'm not in the social media world to start to put up with this kind of foolishness.
Yeah, but the reason this is important, and another night I'll come to it, because what I realized, Mr. Murray, it's not that trivial, because it's a strategy being employed by the BLP, and we're late, but I will get into it. So it's not.
And so far, your reaction to me seems that you're falling into their trap, getting caught up in it.
I'm not.
Oh, you're not. Okay, all right. Thanks.
What I'm doing is I'm revealing something to the voters. Okay, I'm revealing something to the voters, and this is just the beginning of what I want to reveal to the voters. I'm not into it. and revealing something to the voters. Okay, very important, because education is important. I needed to bring up snuffleupagus or whatever the name is, and I need to bring this up, and I need them to see. Okay, and then I'm going to take them a little further another night. Yeah.
Okay.
So folks, well, this is where we come to the end of the show. It's 10 p.m. and we're going to close off the show tonight. Mr. Murray, any final word? And then
Yes, I'm just pleased to say that again in the Independence vein. I had my first conky last week, and I'm looking forward to a few more before the 30th. No conkies yet, Marcia. It was a good conky.
No, I haven't had it yet.
I hope to get a couple more before the time runs up.
Yeah, I haven't had any yet. Yes, go ahead, Mr. Lewis, and then we close.
I ain't getting the conkies over the stable yet at all, man.
Kadir,
you know, Marcia, don't forget to put back up the list there for me and all those folks who would want to contribute towards the soup. You know, if you got some pumpkins over there, we can get some pumpkin. Put the list up there again.
You can have a conky soup.
A conky. I was a person can bring up.
You're going to be creative.
Creative conky soup.
Chicken or
yeah, man. David, you can put the list up there for me again. Fish. Beautiful, you know. So you want to get some carrots, some pumpkin, beans, limes or lemons, okras, some flour, cornmeal, yams, onion, chives, you know, the full herbs, plantains, English potatoes, Scotch bonnet, pepper, and of course, some medium disposable serving bowls. You know, whatever you can contribute towards this effort, you know, it's a wee thing. You know, it's a wee thing, and we are coming there just to relax and get involved in our cultural activities. Go in the pond, get a bath, drink some brown water, not jobby water. You know, brown water, and you want to go down there, get some crayfish, go up at the cup and saucer, relax. You know, just our cultural activities is what we're looking forward to come Independence Day. So whatever you can contribute here, my landline number is 433-9316. 433-9316. So if you have any items that you can donate towards the pot, I can come around. Hopefully, today being Monday, I can come around Wednesday or Thursday, and come and collect them, you know, from you. So that's no problem at all. So whatever you can contribute, just give me a call, 433-9316. If I'm not at home, just leave a message on the answering machine, and you know, we're good to go.
Yes, thank you so very, very much, everybody. And we're going to see you again on Wednesday. On Wednesday, I know for sure Mr. Lewis will be here on Wednesday. We're going to have Speaker John is going to be on Wednesday as well. So thank you all so much. Thank you, Mr. Murray.
It's been a pleasure.
Yes.
I enjoyed it.
Wonderful. And Mr. Adrian Hines, would love for you to come back on Wednesdays again. The cricket not finished yet, work not finished yet. For you to come on, you know, and you know, we can talk about some things. I have a message to send you, Adrian Hines, and I show you why you need to come back on. Okay, all right. Thank you, Dave Weeks. You were amazing tonight. Really, you were. You made Mr. Murray's presentation came to life. All the pictures and the old buses and
that's true. That's right.
Brilliant, man.
He deserves a conky for that. He deserves a conky for that.
You know, they laugh at me. I put the conky in the mixer.
The conky in the soup.
Conky soup, man. Try, Victor, man.
So cocky soup.
All right.
Have a good night, everybody.
Yeah,
Okay.
man, take
Good
care.
night. Good to see you, Victor.
Yes.
Yeah, man,
Bye.
take care.
God above, guide we all. Ancestors, here we call. St. Joseph, standing tall. Joe's River sacred, pull down the wall. River flow, belong to we. Spirit glow, belong to we. Blocking road, can't stop we. God and the elders fight for we. God done rule, victory. Wall come down, finally. Rise up strong, community. Joe's River, St. Joseph legacy. Basheba breeze tell tale from before. Railway rumble on the old time shore. Chimbalazo spirits knocking on door. Ancestors watching old firm indoor. Roots in the clay, deep like prayer. Try block path, we still get there. Gotta walk with we. River declare this land is yours. Stand up, prepare. River flow, belong to we. Spirit glow, belong to we. Black in road, can't stop we. God and the elders fight for we. Court done rule, victory. Wall come down, finally. Rise up strong community. Joe's River, St. Joseph legacy. Private sign up, try claim the space. Locals vex, hurt, show up on face. Foreign hand, try step out of place. But God and we ancestors lock the base. Villagers gather one heartbeat. Barefoot prayers rise in the heat. Courtroom shake when the truth repeat. Pull down that wall, river is we. River flow, belong to we. Spirit glow, belong to we. Black in road, can't stop we. God and the elders fight for we. Court on rule, victory. Wall come down, finally. Rise up strong community. Joe's River, St. Joseph legacy. Victory land sweet like morning rain. Judge say clear, remove the chain. Fix back the banks, heal up the plain. Let children laugh on the spot again. Honor the elders, the ones who fight. God light show with the righteous right. Raise the flag, hold it upright. Joe's River free, St. Joseph unite. River flow, belong to we. Spirit glow, belong to we. Praise be God, community. Joe's River, St. Joseph legacy. River flow, belong to we. Spirit glow, belong to we. Praise be God, community. Joe's River, St. Joseph legacy. Oh yo 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 yo. Oh yo